everyone, it's Amanda here with your July 2019 RuneScope. This month, the big news is that your mid-year check-in RuneScopes are now available over on my Vimeo channel. These are readings covering July through December, the rest of the year. So if you want to see where you're at, what's coming up, definitely check that out. That link is below in the box. Just click or tap the little arrow beneath the video. It's also a good time for those of you who purchased any of my yearly RuneScopes that I posted at the beginning of the year. The 2019 RuneScope, the Career RuneScope, or the Love RuneScope. It's a good time to rewatch those, and you can purchase those if you haven't already. There's still, a full half a year left, and kind of see where you're at in those and what's coming up. So it's a good time to kind of check those out. I will move those up on the list over on my Vimeo channel. That's where all this stuff is. So on the main page, I'll put it underneath the spiritual guidance for July. Just tap the show more button over there and it'll load the rest of those videos if you want to purchase any of those. The mid-year though will be at the top, and then your spiritual guidance for July, which this month I will be pulling and interpreting one card from the awesome Faeries Oracle by Brian Froud. He's an amazing artist. If you like Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal, which I do, two wonderful movies from my childhood. He was instrumental in designing the puppets and the characters in those movies. And the cards are amazing. He also has a book called Good Fairies and Bad Fairies, which this deck I believe is based upon. It does have the same fairies in it, but this is an oracle deck. So if you like his work, he's a genius. I do encourage you to check out the book, but also this deck if you're into oracle cards. That's going to be for July. Give us our additional wisdom. We'll get some additional wisdom and guidance and advice from Brian Froud this month. That's over on Vimeo as well. But here with our runes for July, I'm going to stick with a whimsical theme this month. And the tarot deck we'll be using is the Paulina Tarot by Pauline Stuckey. Is that her last name? I'm going to make sure I get it right, because this is also, she's another, Paulina Cassidy, sorry. She's another amazing artist. So we're featuring a lot of very cool artists this month on the RuneScope's channel. But without further ado, let's jump in and take a look at what July holds for you. Hey Sagittarius, let's get into July. See which runes. I want to talk to Sagittarians about July 2019. What messages for Sagittarius, July 2019? Almost, but not quite. Sag, what do they need to know? So as always, Sag, keep in mind that this is not a private reading, it's a general reading for thousands of people who in some way identify with the sign of Sag. So trying to get a lot of messages to a lot of people. You can check out the video for your rising sign as well. I do encourage you to do so, because oftentimes you're going to find that that is more specific for you anyway. If you would like to know more specifics about the people in your life and your specific circumstances, particularly outcomes of the energies that we're talking about here, hit me up at my email. It's here in the video and also below. And we can set up a session on Skype to just focus on you. But in general, in July, in the present energy, so this is going to be, for most of you, end of June, going into early July-ish. If you're not watching the video till later in July, this could be what you're dealing with, whatever you're watching this video. We do have the Knight of Wands in reverse as the tarot card here. And here's what it looks like in the upright. So again, a general reading, and when we've got people cards showing up, they can be male or female. For some of you, this will be a male. For others of you, it'll be a female. And for some of you, because this is fire sign energy, it could be you. So either you, another Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries. Here, let me see what's coming through with the runes. Well, I feel like for most of you, this is your energy. Not all of you, but I would say the majority. And you're angry, you're upset. The energy of this card, and it's not always this way, but it is kind of like a bit of a temper tantrum. Because you feel like somebody's trying to manipulate you to get what they want. Like they're trying to get what's best for you, for them. And they're going to do whatever they need to do to you in order to get that. Now, who this is where we get into the general reading caveats. Who this is going to be different for all of the Sages watching here. For some of you, it could be a boyfriend, a girlfriend. It could be a relative. It could be one of your kids. You know, for some of you, if you have a fire sign child, this could be them literally throwing a temper tantrum in order to manipulate you to get what, you know, to get what they want. Mercury's retrograde in July, most of July anyway. I think with the shadow period, it starts going out of phase and messing things up at least a week before. So yeah, get second opinions on anything, especially contracts, job interviews, if you're in negotiations for anything. It may be particularly difficult if you're in school and trying to study something or get a certification or study for an exam. Most people are out for the summer, but I mean, maybe you go year round because you work full time, or, you know, it's like a short course. You're doing a short, it's just, July is going to be a rough month to focus, I think. So yeah, you know, and especially if it takes an outlay of money, you're not getting some sort of financial aid or something, or tuition reimbursement. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be money well spent, because I just think your focus is going to be off. But I think this is, for most of you, somebody trying to manipulate you into doing what they want, into getting what they want. They have an agenda. They have selfish motives. And I think they may have been sneaky about it. Like, for some of you, this may have been going on a while and you're just finding out here in July. And like, when you look back, you're maybe, depending on how good of a manipulator they are, some people are masters at it, hey. You're looking at how long this stretches back and you're like just livid. That, you know, here I gave you the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe it's somebody like I defended you, or I had your back. And now you're making me look like a fool. You're making me look like, you know, I was a real... It is kind of like a little bit of you're hurt, but it's like you're going straight to anger, because I think for whatever reason, maybe to not have to think about the hurt. And maybe it's not at that tight like that. Maybe it's not for all of you a close relationship like that if it's a coworker or, you know, something like that. But yeah, it's like, here I defended you and it turns out you were lying. So yeah. For others of you, if this is another fire sign energy, they are doing this, you know, they are trying to... some of them, again, are just angry that you're not giving them what they want. You saw through their manipulation. You saw through their attempt to trick you or whatever. So they're not happy about that, and they're throwing a little temper tantrum. The challenge or the focus in the month of July, the card we have here is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Here's what it looks like in the upright. Let's see here. Okay, and going back to this is a course of study. It's a career path. It is something where you've just been going through the motions and it's not what you want to do. But maybe you didn't know that until you got to this point. Maybe there's no way you could know that until you got to this point. Mercury retrograde is all about reassessing, all the words, reviewing, reassessing, reevaluating. And I think some of you, and maybe it is kind of going into a job that's going to require, oh God, training I hate. It's more of this on-the-job training or this certification they want me to get, and they'll pay for it, but I don't want to do it. And it's like, because I don't want to do this job. I don't want to be stuck here the rest of my life. I want to shine. Your challenge is to find your path to stardom, find your path to shining, because there's some of you Sagittarius out there that you're not using your talents and gifts. Not directly. Some of you are using that, like you're trying to work your way up, but you haven't gotten there yet, and you should have by now. And that may be the frustration you're feeling a little bit. You're like, I should have been here by now. I should be in this position by now. I should be at this point in my career by now. And the thing is, though, take heart, because it's not too late. It's never too late. I was just telling somebody that. Maybe it was Leo. It's never too late to get on the right path, or not that you've been on the wrong path. Really, usually when we get where we've wanted to be, when we look back, we see that all of that time that I was hating that job, it was really serving me. I was getting experience. I would have never landed this gig without that one. I would have never, without this person's recommendation that I worked for, what have you. So there has been a reason. But you're figuring it out now. And it doesn't matter how long you've been doing what you're doing. If it does seem like many of you are like you're reaching this realization. I'm at the end of the road with this. And for most of you, it does seem to be with a job, with a career path, a course of study. It could also be a relationship for some of you. I have reached the end of this road. Maybe because this person was trying to manipulate you for some of you. For some of you, maybe it was a relationship, and you're like, I'm not putting effort into this anymore. This is coming up as your challenge, though. So the challenge may be, like, what do I do next? How do I get where I want to go? But I don't think it's going to be so much of a challenge with the runes you've got here, because Dag is saying, you know what? It's a gradual process, but that road is going to get, like, it may be in shadow and maybe in the dark during July or most of July because of Mercury retrograde. But by the end, you're going to start to see the path again. Because remember, you got to get off this path and get over here to this one. A lot of you. So, maybe it's just a little trail and you can't see it in July, but then it starts, becoming evident how you can cut over to this path that's going to bring you great joy. It's what you love doing, whatever that is. And it doesn't seem to be for most of you what you're doing right now. Now, for some of you, for whatever reason, perhaps a relationship was blocking you from doing that. Maybe because you had to, move for someone, or you had to live in a certain place because they had ties there, or their job was there, and maybe you moved where they are, or maybe they were kind of like pressuring you to do a certain thing for financial reasons or whatever, and it's just not what you want to do. And unfortunately, maybe it's taken up too much of your time and you haven't had time to, pursue your joy, pursue your happiness. And so your challenge in the month of July is to, first of all, figure out what you want to change, what you want to do, although I think many of you know, and figure out how to get over there. Start taking baby steps, and again, just put it out to the universe, like, please show me how to get on that path, or show me how to get where I want to go. Here's where I want to go. I just need to know how to get there. And you're going to see that gradually that path is showing up for you. And it's the path to happiness. It's the path to joy and light and, all the good stuff. I feel like it's been missing for some of you Sagittarius for a while. And, what's blocking it? Is it a job? Is it a relationship? Is it a combination of both? How can you get out of those things? Just ask them to enlighten the pathway out so you can see it. And I think you'll be surprised how quickly that starts to come true. The help that's going to be available in the month of July, you got the Ten of Wands and Gifu. So this is a lot of irons in the fire. You got a lot of work. You've got a lot of responsibility. You're putting a lot of effort into achieving your goals. And this is going to help you because I think it may be leading for many of you to either a new romantic partnership, a new work partnership. There's something being offered to you based on your past work. So we were just talking about how when you reassess, you look back, and even though, God, I hate that job, or I hated all that time I spent there, you know, there could be an offer coming in based on this past work experience. You've been carrying this heavy load of responsibility for a long time, and now I feel like there's an offer for someone else coming in and saying, hey, let me take that, let me take half of that. You don't have to carry all of that. I'm gonna help you out. Or you know, someone's noticing what you have done, what you've accomplished, and they are extending an offer to you. Also going to be worth it and help you to repair a relationship. If this is not a work partnership, it could be a relationship. Now, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be this person you were having a fight with, although, you know, it does seem like they were being kind of skeezy. You know, but yeah, there could be some of you, you're repairing a relationship. But yeah, it may be with a family member. It may be with, you know, maybe you were the one that was throwing the tantrum. You were the one that was trying to manipulate people to get what you want. I have to put it out there, Sag. This can always work both ways because it's a general reading. So yeah, any effort that you put into a relationship will help you because it does look like it's going to be a lot, but, and those of you that have been working for a long time to repair something, you are almost at the end of that phase and you will reach your goal, you know. So maybe somebody's really been putting you through it, putting you through the training ring, you know, to make up for something in the past, make up for a mistake, make up for something you've done in the past that and so, you know, you've been able to build this up, or you will be able to build this up in July. Ten of Wands, though, is a card of work, no doubt about it. There will be a lot required, and if this is a relationship that you're starting to repair, you know, you can't expect it to just be miraculously fixed in the month of July. It's going to take some time, but if you're willing to do it and put in the effort, you can have that goal. You can reach that goal. What must be accepted? We've got the Star card. It's in the reverse. Here's what it looks like in the upright. Beautiful card. Yeah, at some point in July, you may be feeling, this is the card of feeling hopeless, feeling, unfortunately, like, you know, just like you keep running into these obstacles, and how long do I have to be patient? Now, this doesn't have to be, I think this is for many of you, it's the job. Like, how long do I have to wait? And I think it's just at some point in July, you know, you're asking that to the universe, like, what, you know, when? And I think you're going to get an immediate answer because we'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, there's been a period, like this period of maybe losing faith, losing this sense of direction. It's actually been part of the plan. And I know that, like, nobody... We so don't understand that, right? Because we're so in the physical experience, and we just want to reach our goals. We want to set, you know, we have this vision, we have this life path, and we want to get where we are wanting to go. And we don't, we want it now, and we don't want to have to wait for it. But I mean, this has been part of the plan. This losing hope in something, losing your direction, losing faith, these delays and frustrations have all been necessary for you to get where you're going, but also to appreciate it when you do get there, or to appreciate certain relationships. So yeah, maybe the hopelessness has been because maybe you thought a relationship was wrecked beyond repair. No matter who was at fault or what was said or what was done or who said what in anger, like you in July, you may be feeling like, you know, no matter what I say or do, this person would never take me back. But that's not what your help is saying. Your help is saying, as long as you're prepared to do the work, this can happen. You can fix this. Or as long as you have focus, if it's a work partnership that you're wanting or a work goal that you're wanting to reach, if that's what's been frustrating, because I'm getting two different areas for some of you. So, yeah, I think the delays, you know, after Mercury turns direct, will start to alleviate, probably even before then, because of what we've got in the outcome here. So yeah, whenever this feeling sets in, and the intensity will vary. It may, for some of you, it may just be an afternoon. For others of you, you know, one day. Others of you, it may be more pervasive throughout July. But just keep on keeping on. That's a lot the message of the 10 of Wands too. Just keep on keeping on. Keep doing what you're doing. Someone's noticing. It's going to lead to new beginnings. It's going to lead to an offer. It's going to lead to a partnership. It's going to lead to reparation of a partnership, if that's what you are working towards. You're still working towards your goal, even if it feels like it's taken a really, really long time. It's just a long journey. But every step takes you closer. So yeah, try to have patience with yourself, Sag. You can only do what you can do, and you can't force other people to do, even if you do get upset and throw a tantrum. You know, you can't always get what you want. The Rolling Stones said it, right? None of us can. So, yeah, stepping back and reassessing may be how time is best spent, and just kind of being patient with yourself and others in the month of July as much as you can. The outcome, though, is good because you get the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So you pulled it in reverse. This is what it looks like in the upright. So yeah, this is like if it has been a period of financial instability, you're recovering from that. This is recovery from financial instability. It is recovery when it comes to work and goals and anything related to career. Again, finding the path, the karmic path, the path you're supposed to be on. It's also no longer being left out in the cold by someone, because in the upright, not all of the, you know, this doesn't always have to be to do with monetary things. This can also be with like someone shut you out, or feeling shut out or left out. You don't have to feel that way. However, it was karmic for you and the other person. But yeah, it doesn't have to stay that way. Now, this 10 of Wands, the effort, this could be going on between July, and for some of you, you may have started before July, but yeah, July through the fall. So it may be towards the end of the year before you get to the end of this, you know, and prove to this person that you're willing to put the work in. Or if it's them that's working on it, as long as you could like come to the table and say, yeah, I'll let you prove this to me. That's another way this can work. I don't know if that came up as the help. Is like, you know, if you really want to keep someone in your life, if this, whatever this wasn't so bad, maybe you overreacted or, you know, but maybe not. And maybe you're still willing to forgive. It's going to help to say you're going to have to put the work in and not just forget about it, you know, right off. So yeah, whether it's you or someone else working to repair a relationship, it could be between now and the end of the year that this is occurring. But this journey has also been necessary. This, whatever has happened, again, was part of the plan all along. Even being left out in the cold, or even the financial struggle, right? And again, it's these periods of lack that help us appreciate when we come out of that. Now, others of you, I think you're getting, this karmic recovery for financial things. So there's going to be a chance to, and some of you it may be through legalities, because we got the rune of legalities. It's also the rune of karma, but so there could be a settlement, a payout, something that's going to help you while you're working up and making this career adjustment that some of you seem to be making. And that, again, may be coming before the end of the year, in the fall, in the Northern Hemisphere. So between September 21 and December 21 could be when that's coming for you. But most of you, I feel like this is more personal. It's more personal than money. It's like a karmic hidden thing right now. For many of you are watching this, if you're watching on the June side especially, because we have the blank rune next to this. So this is like a doorway that you don't even know is there until it's there. Is that clear as mud? You know how, like in fantasy movies or Harry Potter and things, they had that hidden room in the castle, and it would just appear, the room of necessity or whatever. That's what I'm feeling like. You did have need here. So the rune of necessity and the room of necessity, right? But yeah, there's like this doorway that appears out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, I just walk through here and I can repair this relationship. It is like it just happens. Or someone just reaches out of nowhere, and you know, this is all part of the plan. This is how you end the journey. And for some of you, maybe it's all connected, and that's how you get on the right path. Maybe this person is important in leading you to the right path. So that's what I see for July, Sagittarius. Remember, we're reassessing. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be patient with yourself. You can only do so much. And July is a month to figure out what the next move is going to be in a lot of ways. So what's your path to happiness? Are you on it, or do you need to switch? It seems like there's some area in life where you need to switch. And once you start that process, it's just going to feel right. But meet me over on Vimeo. Like I said, I'm going to shuffle the Faeries Oracle by Brian Froud. I want to see what fairy has more advice for you, spiritual guidance on how to handle these energies, because I feel like any guidance would be helpful, given you've got kind of a bit of a challenging month here, Sag. But so yeah, that link is below. Don't forget the mid-year check-in RuneScope is over there as well, covering July through December. So whatever this is, you would get a much longer term view if you check that out. So I'll definitely see you over there, hopefully. Definitely, hopefully. And I'll see you back here next time, Sag. Thanks for watching.